Right. So, hi guys, I hope you all are well. And this is going to be a very in detail and in-depth video on the latest launch of apartments in Hudayriat Island, the Bashayer residences, and what makes it probably the most strategic off-plan apartment investment of Abu Dhabi in 2025. So, I would just like to start off first by looking at some comparables, some similar projects that we can compare it with. Now, when you open the map of Abu Dhabi, the first thing you guys might notice is there's a lot of water, there's a lot of seafront, right? But what you guys don't, even to your surprise and even to my surprise, Abu Dhabi has a lot of seafront water-facing apartment towers, but Abu Dhabi does not have our seafront master communities, apartments within a master community. There is almost nothing available in Abu Dhabi that's a like-for-like comparison. Reem Island, the closest comparable, it's not a master community. You've got isolated apartment towers from hundreds of developers. So Reem Island is not a fair comparable. The only closest comparable I could find that's in a master community, apartments within a master community are on Yas Island. Uh, these apartments from Aldar, the Water's Edge project, you've got around 14 buildings. It was developed by Aldar, sort of like a mini master community, but it was delivered almost 5 years ago in 2020. So this is the first similar comparison, I could say, and I just want to compare it for you guys. So Water's Edge was launched back in 2017 and was handed over in 2020. It's almost 5 years old. And the one bedrooms were launched at approximately 750,000 dirhams, and now they're transacting at over 1.5, 1.7 million dirhams. And I've got the transactions open with me here on the Abu Dhabi real estate portal. So here is the transactions for Water's Edge, as you guys can see, and I'll be more than happy to. I'll also add a link to the bio. So Water's Edge by Aldar, which is almost launched 10 years back, it does not have it does not have a school, it does not have a community clubhouse, it does not have any beach access, does not have any sporting facilities. It is just a complex of a couple of buildings, and it's facing the canal. It's not even sea facing, and it's performed so well historically, right? So that's the first comparison I could compare with. The second comparison I would do is with the Mayan apartments on Yas Island. Again, handed over by Aldar, developed by Aldar. Now, this is almost a 10-year-old project. These are 10-year-old buildings that are facing the golf course and the water. And the growth has been insane. They were launched approximately 1 million, almost 10 years back. And here is also the proof of it. Aldar launches sales for Mayan November 5, 2015. We're speaking almost 10 years back. Uh, so yeah, and these apartments are now transacting at over 2 million plus dirhams, even though it's a 10-year-old community, and they were launched approximately 1 million. And the third comparison, the most recent comparison I would do is with Yas Golf Collection. Again, developed by Aldar. And if I could just show you guys over here, Yas Golf Collection. So these are the Yas Golf Collection buildings over here, and they were launched in 2023. One bedrooms for approximately 1.2 million, and now they're transacting at almost 1.7, 1.8, 1.9 million, and they're still not fully handed over. Only one phase of the project has handed over, and the handover is in March 2026 for Yas Golf Collection. So if you look at a common pattern, okay, all three of these launches, canal facing, sea facing, master communities, they've appreciated by almost 50, 60, 70% in average, conservatively speaking. And they do not even have the same level of amenities as Hudayriat Island. So that's the first point I wanted to make. That in Abu Dhabi, you do not have a like for like single island which is fully developed by a single master developer. Fahad Island is the first project that's going to be coming up, developed fully by Aldar. Yas Island, even though it's majority of Aldar's development, you still have some private developments such as the Bay Residence, you've got Reportage, you've got Al Baraka Developments, you've got a couple of small private developers building, and yes, it's not a fully mastered community, but it's a good comparison. And you're gonna have Jubail Island. Again, it's developed fully by lead developments, but Jubail is mostly villas and townhouses, and you've got only a couple of apartments that are not sea facing. So of course, we cannot compare with that. And you've got the Ramhan Island. Again, it's being developed by a single developer, but it's only villas and townhouses, so you can't compare it with the apartments. And of course, Saadiyat Island, again, even Saadiyat's cultural district is not a master development. You've got private developers, you've got Taraf, you've got Nord developments, a couple of private developers. So yeah. Now, I hope you guys have understood my point that these residences in Hudayriat are something truly unique, that they're the first and one of the last apartment launches on a government-backed master development by a single developer. Right. Now, so like if you're speaking by appreciation, I'll come to that later on, but let me just speak for the growth catalysts, right, guys? Now, okay, let's say if you guys invest in Bashayer, you're gonna buy a one bedroom at approximately 2.35 million dirham, right? By the way, guys, the sizes are insane. You're getting almost 1,000 square foot one bedrooms, all the way up to 1,400 square foot. A lot of developers these days in Abu Dhabi and Dubai are giving you two bedrooms and three bedrooms for these sizes. So the sizes and price per square foot is absolutely insane. Some serious value for money. Two beds are even bigger, 3.6 mil, and three bedrooms are about 4.8 million. So if you're buying the one bed at 2.35, a conservative, realistic growth expectation by handover in October 2029, it's going to be around 40 to 50% growth. Conservatively speaking, there's realistically scope for a lot more growth. So the 2.35 million dirham one bedroom apartment is surely expected to be worth at least anywhere from 2.9 to 3.1 billion by handover, and could be worth even higher. I'm just being realistic with you guys. And it's a 50-50 payment plan, which is even beautiful. So out of the 2.35, you only need to invest 1.2, 1.3 million roughly. And the remaining is on handover, which you can either mortgage if you would like to move in and live yourself, or you can simply sell it and transfer the remaining 50% to the end user, to your second buyer. So your return on equity in this case is very high. You're looking at almost 50 to 60% growth or return on equity. And yeah, one key point I wanted to make, okay, guys, this is not a quick flip. I do not encourage quick flips. They do not exist anymore in Abu Dhabi or Dubai. Back in the days in COVID or before COVID, you could buy anything, and in the middle of nowhere, you could buy anything in the middle of nowhere, you could flip it next day for 100, 200, 300K premium. That does not exist anymore in Abu Dhabi or Dubai. The markets have matured, and it's going to require a lot more effort from you as an investor to make money. That's why you have to be smart about these launches, about where you're tying up your capital for the next 3, 4 years. Now, here's the realistic timeline. The first construction works on these residences will start in July 2026, and the building is going to be complete by July, October 2029. So it's almost a 3.5 year holding period, right, guys? So that's the timeline which you guys should be looking at. It's not a quick flip, because if you're going to buy now and if you're going to be like, oh, okay, I just bought back in November last year and it's almost going to be 1 year, guys, not even 5% of the construction would have been complete by 2027, by Jan 2027. The actual main works are going to start in Jan 2027. So the first 1.5 years is just going to be you holding and forgetting. Just hold and forget. That's it. The actual growth, which you're going to see, is when the 50% completion is going to happen around mid to end 2027. And then in 2028 is where you're going to see a lot more growth and demand in the value of your project, as the villas in Hudayriat, the Nawaif and Nasim villas, start handing over, the community starts taking shape, and a number of other developments. Now, growth catalysts, right? Like, why should I invest today in Bashayer and why should I not invest later? What's going to grow the value of my apartment? Guys, if you did not know, first of all, if I can just show you guys something real quick as well. I did not have this open with me beforehand. This is the Abu Dhabi real estate market report. We'll quickly go through the supply and demand for Hudayriat. So if I can just show you guys. So this is the supply that's coming over the next 3 years in Abu Dhabi. If you look at Yas Island, we'll be receiving almost 10,000 units. If you look at Saadiyat Island, we'll be receiving approximately 6,000 units. Reem Island will be receiving 5,000 units. Hudayriat, on the other hand, even though it's such a huge piece of land, will only be receiving 872 units in the next 3 years. So out of all of the islands in Abu Dhabi, Hudayriat is receiving the lowest supply for its land and surface area. That's number one. So you're getting the lowest supply in Abu Dhabi. If you move on to the demand and the sales values. So guys, the top 10 projects in Abu Dhabi in 2025 in the first half only that made up almost 50% of the sales value. Hudayriat was number one. Hudayriat has been the highest transacting project in 2025 in Abu Dhabi at almost 2.4 billion dirhams in the first half, and I believe by the end of this half it's going to be even higher. So number one, what matters is liquidity, right, guys? A lot of people sell investments or projects in areas that are not liquid. What does liquidity mean? If you're buying something and if, let's say, if you want to exit, right, if your financial circumstances change, if you need funds back with you, you should be able to exit your investment as quickly as possible within a month or 2 months or 3 months realistically. So Hudayriat does have that liquidity. It is a fast and highly transacting project. And even in 2024, last year, when almost no one knew about Hudayriat, and not even me, to be honest, it was the second highest transacting project at 3.5 billion dirhams. So even when no one knew of it, it was still performing really well. So that's an overview of the supply and demand, right, guys? Now, if I could, yeah, so moving on to growth catalysts. If you guys did not know, Hudayriat Island is gonna have 80 to 90% villas and townhouses only. So getting apartments on an island like this is extremely rare. It's extremely rare, right? So that's the first thing. You're gonna have very limited supply, and there's gonna be only 2 phases of Bashayer residences. The first phase has been launched recently, and the second phase is gonna be launching in the near future, I believe in a couple of months. If I can just show you guys. So yeah, this is the first phase, which is currently been launched, and this is going to be the second phase to be launched, I believe, in a couple of months, maybe next year, I'm not sure. So we've got only 2 phases, and so the second growth catalyst, what differentiates is a gated community. So it's not an open community like Yas, like Reem, or even like Saadiyat. It's a fully gated community that adds scarcity and value, and there's a lot of high net worth individuals willing to pay premiums for gated communities. Number three, you're going to have access to the same communities and amenities as the villa users. Now, these are the Nawai Hills. If I can just zoom in for you guys, this is the Naseem community, and this is going to be the Bashayer residences over here. If you guys can see, this is going to be the school, a very huge school for Al Naseem. You're going to have a football court, you're going to have paddle, tennis, sports courts, spots. You're gonna have a community retail center over here, right? Almost like small mini shopping mall. You can have baths, mosques. There's even a clinic that's coming up. So you're gonna have access to all of these amenities, which are for villa users, but at a walking distance. This is how close the school is gonna be to Bashayer residences. Your kids, your children would have lots of parks, greenery, sporting facilities around Bashayer, and beach access. So for some of you who love jogging and running, you can just jog your way down to the beach over here. I guess it's going to be a 10-15 minute jog. And if you prefer taking the car or your electric bikes, e-scooters, you can take that. And Mudan will be providing golf carts. So that's something unique that I only saw, I believe, in Ghaf Woods in Dubai. And sorry, not Ghaf Woods, in Ilal Al Ghaf. The villas there are absolutely beautiful, and the community, uh, the management, they're providing golf carts for residents to commute between the community. So we're going to see something like that within Hudayriat. That's a very exciting development. Uh, so yeah, guys, that's a second growth catalyst. That you can have some of the best amenities as the villa users. Of course, lots of sports facilities and marina living. If I can just show you guys the brochure quickly. So if you go over here, this is how it's going to look like at, if I can just show you guys over here, I think it's back. So this is going to be like sort of like a marina style living. You're going to have a lovely boardwalk uh, into the sea. A very unique. If I can just show you guys actually on the VR itself, Bashayer Residence 1 and 2. And this is the Bashayer Marina District where you're going to have commercial offices. I wanted to focus on this point actually. Uh, yeah, I want to focus on this point as well, guys. You're going to have Hudayriat Mall coming up over here. You're going to have commercial offices, cafes, retail, restaurants, all of that in this Marina District. And of course, you've got the villas. Now, why does this matter? Why do these commercial spaces matter for Bashayer? Footfall. You need to have people coming to your community every week. It should be their weekend getaway. Just like we see in Yas. A lot of people found out about Yas Island when they visit Ferrari World, Yas Mall, Warner Brothers, SeaWorld, all of these theme parks, Formula One, right? So you need something that puts your community out there on the map. That's very important, right, guys? You need to have people visiting your area every weekend, and that's how they're going to get to know about the place as end users. And eventually, they'll be interested, they'll love the community, and they would want to buy in. Exactly what we've seen with Hudayriat Island, the cultural district. You've got Louvre museums, you've got beaches. People who first visit as tourists, they love the place, and then they want to buy in. So even post handover, the growth in this area will be absolutely insane. Because when Hudayriat is fully complete, it's going to be like nothing else in UAE. There is no comparable in Abu Dhabi and in Dubai for this project. So the resale, post handover resale demand is going to be very, very high for Hudayriat. And another thing I want to mention is the proximity to downtown Abu Dhabi. So you're not, let's say, for example, for Yas Island, it's a bit far away from downtown Abu Dhabi. It's almost a 30-minute drive to downtown Abu Dhabi and the financial district, Reem Island. But for Hudayriat Island, you've got a straight highway that takes you to downtown Abu Dhabi, and all of the amazing food places, the schools, the malls, the financial district, Reem Island. So it's almost a 20-minute drive to these places. So that's something which puts Hudayriat in a more unique perspective. And of course, you're buying early. Now, guys, I cannot stress on this enough. I've made videos on Bashayer, on Hudayriat. A lot of people watched those videos. They came to me a couple of months later that, oh, we want to buy in. Unfortunately, it was too late. Everything was sold out. Why should you buy in early? The first point, you're buying at the cheapest price per square foot. As you see anywhere in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, phase ones are always the cheapest, phase two are going to be higher. Last year we saw these apartments, the Nawaif Park Views, launched at 2 million for one bed. And now we're seeing the Bashayer one bedrooms start at about 2.35. There's already a 300k premium. So the later you're buying, you're paying a price for it, right, guys? It's not coming to you for free. You're not going to make more money. Early investors are going to be the ones who are going to be rewarded the most. Keep this in mind. Of course, if you look at the overall master plan, you would say, oh, what if they're going to launch more apartments in the future? Sure, what if they launch apartments? Are those apartments going to be in prime locations? No, they're not going to be in prime locations. They're likely going to be on the canal. And the canal is not as prime as sea view or sea facing view. Secondly, they're going to be priced much higher. So you're going to be paying more for less or paying more for the same. And thirdly, your handover is going to be even more delayed. So if you're buying into a project on Hudayriat next year, your handover is going to be 2031, 2032, almost 6 years from now. Are you willing to wait that long? I don't think so. So these are some of the three key reasons why you should be buying in early and locking in your investments. So you can, first of all, make returns quickly, you can move in quickly, you can receive handovers quicker than other projects. And yeah, so these are some of the key growth catalysts for Bashayer. Guys, I hope this was a very helpful brief, and I do not see any like-for-like comparison with any other project in Abu Dhabi. And of course, something that's going to bring a lot of people to Hudayriat is also going to be it's also going to be the Olympic Velodrome that's opening up. It's going to be the biking trails, the sporting facilities. Now, let me break it down for you guys. What Abu Dhabi is doing, right? So, Abu Dhabi's government, God, I love Abu Dhabi's government. They've planned so strategically. They've converted Yas Island into this cultural and not culture into an entertainment and leisure district. You've got Ferrari World and you've got Formula One, right? Theme parks. It's an entertainment district. Saadiyat, it's the cultural district. You've got museums, right? You've got art galleries, museums, etc. Reem Island is the financial district. You've got commercial offices, ADGM, etc. Right? So that's the financial district. And now you would say, okay, what does Hudayriat offer? What's going to be Hudayriat's unique selling point? Why would people want to visit Hudayriat every week? The sporting facilities. Hudayriat is sort of like Abu Dhabi's sports and water sport island, because it's working for some reason, but Hudayriat's going to have Abu Dhabi's first Olympic velodrome. It's going to have equestrian facilities, golf courses. It's going to have it already has Surf Abu Dhabi, which is a wave pool, the largest of its kind in Middle East. You've got mountain biking trails, you've got hiking hills, you've got a glamping resort. It's absolutely insane, and you don't have these facilities anywhere else in Abu Dhabi or in Dubai. So Hudayriat is going to be Abu Dhabi's sports and wellness district. And Fahd Island, of course, Fahd has its own USP, which was, of course, living longer. It's the longevity island. So, eco living, sustainable living, Fahad's going to offer you that. So every Abu Dhabi island offers a unique selling point, a unique angle to investors and end users. So yeah, guys, that was for Bashayer Residences, probably the best overall apartment project for 2025 in Abu Dhabi. The sad thing is, by the time a lot of you watch this video, these apartments will be sold, because the line launch is on 9th December. Before 9th, we have to submit your checks, and it's still not guaranteed. All we can do is do our best. So if you're seeing this video and if you're interested, if you want to make the move, just drop me a message on my WhatsApp. You can get started right away. You don't need to be in the UAE physically. It can all be done remotely. We will be needing your passport, your email address, phone numbers, a couple of basic KYC details, and you will be registered for the launch. And hopefully we can get some units for you guys. So yeah, guys, I hope this was a helpful video. Of course, I've made lots of videos at Hudayriat because it's my job to highlight opportunities to investors that will make them some serious money. And hopefully someone watches this video and decides that, yes, Hudayriat is where I want to be positioned for the next 3 to 4 years. And guys, just one key point before I leave: the location of Hudayriat, of these Bashayer residences, is very prime. You're facing the royal family's palaces. This is some of the most prime piece of land or exclusive piece of land in Abu Dhabi. This is the Sheikh's palace, His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed's palace. It's written here as well in Arabic. This is the Al Ghurm West villas, sea-facing villas with their own private yachts and boating docks. Not for expats, it's only for the locals and for the royal families. And over here, you've got Abu Dhabi's capital center, which is sort of like the exhibition center for the expos, conferences, events. And over here, you've got Zayed's Sports City. And you've also got the embassies over here as well. So this is a very high net worth piece of land, if it makes sense. You're facing some of the most well-known, successful, and richest people of Abu Dhabi by investing in Hudayriat on this side. And you're also going to be having views of Abu Dhabi's skyline over here, which I wanted to show you guys. These are the World Trade Center. This is going to be the Etihad Towers. So yeah, guys, you can have sunrise, sunset, and skyline views as well from Bashayer residences. So guys, I hope this was a helpful video. You guys can just reach out to me anytime on WhatsApp and see you in the next one.